was I just doing? I was just looking into an app called Headway app. I'm curious if any of you have found it. It said what pulled me in the ad was simply, can you guys see that flicker? I don't know why it does that. Headway app, something like stop scrolling and do micro learning instead. I was like, ooh, that might be good for my brain. Is it just me? I'm seeing this little micro flicker. It's kind of bothering me because I feel like it's like an epilepsy thing. It's definitely that light as well, isn't it? I was just doing this the other day, my lovers. Oh no. And, oh, my goodness, Libra, I do apologize. I've just found the back of an earring. Oh, it's not that one. Intriguing. Okay, my lovers. How peculiar. Ah, I found it. Je l'ai trouvé. I went to a French school growing up. I speak French. Not very well. I would say I'm barely conversant. I would love to go to France and just live there for like a year. I mean, I would love to go to lots of different, like Italy and Spain and just all the countries and learn all the languages and be a superhuman. Okay. Anywho, we're getting near the holidays and I just want to wish you all a super mega holiday season. Happy New Year! Happy New Year to my lovers. Libras, I consider Libras often to be like angels, certainly the way they've showed up in my personal life. I have a lot of Libra energy in my birth chart, and I have a lot of Aries energy, so there's a resonance with, I guess that axis, you could say, independence and relationship, reciprocity, balance, fairness, justice. I res with all that Shazam. And it's like an ongoing journey. So this reading is for Libra for January 2024. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Feel free to check out more about myself, what I do work-wise, and why I show up here at All to Love. So, okay, Libra, let's get into your cards. Divine guidance and love and clarity for my Libra lovers. Popping off. Like there's something, I think, that you're exiting, a situation that you're wanting to fully release. I'm hearing something about like a bat, pardon me. Wow, Libra, I'm going to apologize just one more time because this reading has been full of razzmatazz, but if you're super disappointed and you don't get the messages you're seeking, then feel free to ask or request for another one of these. I might not do it, but you're welcome to ask. Somebody, I think that's happened before. I think a previous Gemini reading, somebody was like, it was all patchy. So I did another one. But it's just a thing where it's like actually just creating the time. And I realized too, I want to get back into doing the weekly readings, but they're not happening as naturally as the monthly and the dailies. So plus, if I'm honest, people aren't necessarily requesting the weeklies. So maybe we'll leave it there. I'm still pulling cards for Libra. This is the energy of Libra. Divine guidance and love and clarity. Divine guidance and love and clarity for my Libras. Letting go of conflict. Some of you might be releasing addictions or having illumination around addiction or previous codependent relationships. I feel like you're wanting to marry your own intuition. So you're wanting to get really clear about what your intuition is asking of you, or what I think you're wanting to feel into greater balance so that you're maybe not as easily triggered. What's that seven of there's a seven of wands. I'm always the sevens are often like, as in the way you can interpret the cards and based on what they're around. Like seven of wands is definitely where it can be interpreted, to me anyway, in quite a lot of different ways, in a sense of like how the guidance goes. But there is a lot of major shifting happening, like continual, right? Like life's always changing. I'm also getting that for some of you, there could be an elevation in a relationship, like straight up. Some of you might be getting proposed, some of you might be getting married. And maybe your intuition is suspicion this, because this is a Capricorn energy, the devil. The devil's in reverse, and it's making, and then there's the four of wands, which is a honeymoon card, which is often about recommitting ourselves, or having that kind of commitment between people that creates a really solid foundation, energetically speaking, right? To create the kind of life that we want. And it's the high priestess with the devil energy. So it's like, I want to say Pisces, but I could be wrong. And Capricorn here. Well, the reason I'm getting into this proposal is that the devil's reversed. So if this devil is a person in your life, they're letting go maybe of some of their control, or relinquishing their single status, for example, letting go of their own codependencies to enter into a healthy union, right? Maybe. I am getting that, like, possibly there's been some struggle there. Like, when is there not? The sun card, though, the sun, the devil, the hanged man, the empress, the high priestess, there's just so much major arcana here, and I feel like you're so this is a situation possibly around your working creative life. And I want to say that, like, you've had possibly a phase of like passivity, passive aggression, not feeling really beautiful, not feeling really empowered, not feeling just feeling depressed, for a very general word. Feeling very depressed, maybe feeling limited, like you're wanting to do this, that, and the other, but you haven't got the resources. And then there's like illumination. I kind of get a sense that illumination is happening probably near the end of December. I'm reading these. I usually get the monthlies done like a week or two before the month that I'm reading for. Hence, the Patreons get ad-free first access. The hanged man in the upright with the sun card there is going to be an illumination, or you're starting to have illumination around, I would say, in a very general sense, direction, like the direction you're wanting to go in, because there's some sort of power move with the sun card supporting the honeymoon card, sun card supporting the four of wands. So there's an energy here of wanting to create that stability. You might be intuitively sensing this, but not seeing anything. I want to say trust the intuition. At the same time, as an intuitive, I know that there are times where it seems like it's gone completely, or it's not reliable or something. But it's more to do with the long game, I think, with intuition. Intuition is nothing about a quick fix. It's nothing about, intuition is like you trusting that your soul knows how to teach you and guide you, etc. And kind of trusting the life lessons on the physical plane that you present to yourself, as despairing and horrible sometimes as they are. I think that's part of this human creative process, is moving through those experiences which shape us and make us ideally like a more whole human. I was about to say better, and I'm like, well, who's to say, right? That's a judgment. In truth, we're just eternal, constantly shape-shifting and learning and growing, and or shrinking and devolving. Okay, so let's pull a few more cards. I do definitely want some clarity on that Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands. Oh. Mm. So yeah, that's where I'm like interpreting that Seven of Wands of be mindful of that energy of defensiveness. There's another form of, I think for some of you Aries, it's almost as if you're not maybe gonna see this proposal or this shift in your relationship coming. It might surprise you to the point of like, what, huh? You might get a bit defensive. You might react in a way that maybe surprises your person or surprises you. So, because seven of wands to me is a very defensive energy. You know, as in five of, you go through five of wands, the battle, and then you get to this recognition of success, and then you ride on that wave of success, and you might get to a point where you're like, don't touch me, don't touch my success. I've worked too damn hard, right, for someone to come along and disrupt my creation or disrupt my life flow or whatever it is. But that four of wands wants to come in, and that to me is a shift in, well, if you don't align it, which in fairness in this reading, like I maybe made an assumption with the honeymoon card, but like this doesn't have to be about a romantic relationship. This can be just a life upgrade. As in, you're done, you're over. It's like almost you defending against your past self. So when your fear of lack or your I'm not worthy energy or right? Energies of emotional despair, energies of pain, emotional not enoughness, all of that energy, you're having to be like, enough. I am stable. Oh yeah, and that's what I was gonna say about like this mightn't be about a union with another human as far as like you're gonna get married and have comfort and stability together. For some of you, possibly quite a few, this is actually just your stability, your success. That's why maybe the devil is like letting go of addictions or letting go of self-sabotage or like, patterns that limit you versus expansive patterns that open you up. And these different stories are kind of saying, I just feel like you're at this point in your life where you've had enough experience. You've had enough experience. I want to say too, you're a fighter. Like you might be tired, but you're willing to kind of push through. Either way, there's balance coming in. And I want to say you might be intuiting it, but you might not. It's in the reverse, the high priestess. So, and then for some of you, if you are single, there is likely there, because I saw King Cups and then another devil. So there's, oh yeah, and Four of Wands. Yeah, I guess there is that other theme. Like for some of you, if you are single, if you're dating somebody, I do get a sense that for some of you, who am I reading for again? Libra. Some of you've got someone in your midst. If you're not official dating somebody, I think somebody's, because I said King Cups and Devil. There's somebody new coming in, or an energy that's renewing itself, or you're gonna fall in love or something, and then make a proposal. Because I'm now looking at 2 4 1s. 4 1s here, 4 1s here. I'm like, wow, 4 1s is definitely significant. It's maybe locking in a certain relationship, but very much, especially with that card, this is an offer. This is somebody being like, yo, you let's do this together. I want to say like ordained by the sun. An upgrade for some of you. There is an upgrade in your relationship status. And I also want to say something about like beautifying your space. So for some of you, you might be, if you're already in an established relationship as well, this could be part of it. Renewal of your vows, or simply like having maybe discussions about how to improve your environment or your garden or something. These are very happy people, like content people. And so if you're not in something established, there's likely somebody coming in, or you really choosing yourself and starting to embed, or what's the word, anchor, or I could say like just really ground in this creative energy of you knowing the kind of life you want to create and then doing it. Yeah. The spider energy is a very autonomous and creative energy. They're constantly spinning webs, right? They're constantly creating. So I do get a sense of manifestation, choosing to create your life, right? Being in that spaciousness. So now, Libra, I'm just picking from the different decks, and we're going to just see the final messages that we get. I really get a feeling for some of you, this energy of walking away from your old self, walking away from who you used to be. That can include possibly some people in our lives. Experiences that were really painful, people that ignored us, or people that dissociated from us, or seeing more clearly with compassionate eyes can help you step away and or heal and or walk away from situations that again were pardon me, like maybe troubling or dark, even dark. But most of us say like dark, or having, uncomfortable emotional experiences are dark, like just grieving and despair. It's a dark time. And then in this card, the Eight of Cups is, of course, a card of letting go, walking away. However, with this energy, there is an enchantment about walking away and letting go. Whatever. I was listening to something yesterday, and they're talking about, humanity, and how I think something Neptune and Saturn are moving through Pisces. Pisces is that like and drift into the void, and really final lessons in as far as our collective. Well, and the Neptunian energy, I realized too, moving through Pisces, is about illusions. And then with Pluto and Capricorn, it's that intermix of like the illusions propagated by power, and that have been corrupted with regards to the manipulating our minds, right, with regards to whatever those narratives are. So I feel that those narratives or those transits, those planetary transits, are part and parcel of our excavating our autonomy, our power is, power to the people. But we're all people. We're all people, and the majority of people are not billionaire trillionaires, and are not. It's all mostly what we see out there, but the majority of people are just good, decent human beings working hard, 9 to 5. What a way to make a living. And so the power is in our hands, and a big, I think, shining light on the falsity are those people in positions of power that are ruling, so-called, what have you, and trying to tell everybody what to do. So our freedom is truly our choosing of that, or choosing to be free from limited belief systems, or just belief systems that would have us not be powerful, or have us. I'm not talking brutal force either. I mean, I go on about these sort of topics, but it's not. Power is not about force. There's very different energies. force and control is actually domination, which is to me coming from a very weak place within. Power is presence, the power of now. Power is presence. And I saw a post, which I understand because it's coming from a place of direct action, where somebody said, something like nonviolence does fuck all or something like that. And to a certain degree, we're all living our lives in these bodies, and we can move and we can speak. There is a truth, and there has to be, I think, an actionable nonviolence. So what do I mean by that? Intentional rather than actionable. That I'm not just peaceful because I want to be peaceful. There's a genuine intention that my peace and or my love or my vision of unity and fair terms and conditions is what is radiating out from the beingness that I am. And so and intentional prayers of goodwill for people that I feel are in pain, or that. So I think there's like the discernment with all these words, or like critical thinking within these expressions, to go like standing with peace, not living in denial, nor allowing ourselves to get into patterns, or simply observing our patterns of where we might divert that energy, where we might give too much energy to images on our phones, or too much energy to tarot YouTubers, like whatever it might be. So Libra, I gotta say, there's a very real. I want to say just like real. I gotta say, there's nothing. It's not like there's any big windfall energy. Sorry to say. I'm getting a sense of actually kind of emotional renewal. Yeah, emotional renewal. I think you've been through a lot, where these Four of Wands are like, you've gotten to a certain point now, ground it, right? Ground that into balance, and genuinely walk away from the things. It's like Chariot reverse here. I kind of am getting this feeling for some of you that until you really let certain things go, you're not likely to feel that momentum to move you forward. So until you stand your ground and choose the direction you want to go in, knowing your heart, knowing your vision, knowing your will, let go of the things that don't serve you and the things that you just don't res with anymore, don't want. Move in the direction, or rather even be guided in the direction, or take the opportunities, take the new beginning. You're teetering here there. And by that I mean, Libra, that you're on the cusp. You're teetering, I say, with regards to quite a well, I'm saying that because there's 2 Nine of Cups now in the reverse, and I'm like, there's all this emotional healing. Again, there's something about like stuff you're leaving behind or stuff you're walking away from, that once you have the boldness or the courage to walk away from that thing, it will create a vacuum and be like, oh no, it's empty. And then suddenly like there's a turnaround. A few pieces of information suddenly change the game and make you feel really good about who you are. And it might just be you standing down your own devil, which is like what most of us do, right? Like whatever issues plague us, as banal or as mysterious or as silly or as serious as they might feel or be to our individuality, we still have to have the will to choose. That's again, to me, the Christ consciousness is choosing. Am I aligning with the spirit of love and a vision I believe in, and a vision that, or a loving connection that I wish upon all people? Or am I coming from a place of I am not worthy and I don't have enough, and life is just filled with disappointments and I'm never gonna get there, and etc. Like pretty down in the dumple energy. Hence where that Seven of Wands is going, enough. And I've spoken to this, wrote about it in my book, but that's what the inner battle is. That's what this like inner, there's an expression I think in the Bible, and Jesus is like, devil, get thee behind me. The way I interpret that is not him speaking to anybody else but himself. like my own inner demons, my own inner shit thoughts that would make me or other people feel like shit, or put them down, or make them less than human, or justify violence, whatever it might be. It's like inside my own beingness that's either beating myself up or beating other people up or beating up the world. And when I acknowledge, when I recognize that darkness, it's like, devil, get thee behind me. Thank you, but no thanks. I see that pain, I see that pattern, I see that distortion. Does it feel like the all-knowing, loving presence of a benevolent creative force? No, then it probably isn't. So let it go. It's probably part of my own little minute ego, right? Because that's an aspect of like this sense of like being small or feeling small, I believe anyway, has something to do with that egoic perception, too attached to the physical dimension. And I know it too in my own distortions, that it's often that, as in it's a distorted perspective, right? That binds us in these sort of, I guess you could say, falsities, or just compulsions, addictions, right? All right, right over. So there's the Pilgrim card. Basically, what let go. Keep letting go. There's this energy, first layer. Keep moving, keep letting go. Put the pillars in, whether you and a partner, you maybe a business partner, just one other person specifically. Creating that foundation for joyful community. Certainly celebration. There's a fair bit of shadow work here too, Libra, as in some like transforming the I don't belong, or I don't fit in, or I'm not worthy of fitting in. These are child wounds, exclusions, abandonments, rejections. And then there's something about taking this new energy, taking this new beginning, starting to get creative, and or even in your mind's eye, being creative with regards to the vision that you expect, or like see the vision and then feel into how it feels. Like, does that vision feel good? No, move on, next vision. There's a fearlessness coming in through you, but again, energetically, it's like until you really release some stuff that isn't serving you, or just straight up you don't want it in your life anymore. It's a lot of pain and heartbreak, right? Or like that, without being too morbid, but like that feeling of feeling dead inside. Like there's something that you're releasing that will help you feel renewed as you release it, and then it will make you feel better. Because I think it's going to take a little bit of commitment, like a real commitment within, to lay down or to overcome this emotionally. So I kind of want to say, give yourself time, Libra. Lean into the good friends and or lover, like lean into those really solid relationships that are reciprocal. They might help, and they might reflect stuff back to you. Again, there's a new beginning. The new offers, new beginnings, these opening doors are definitely the way to move. The sun is shining on this. All the limitations are really, I would say, self-imposed or self-created with regards to attachments or different ways of perceiving, thinking other people have power over you, thinking that you're doomed to fail because of this, that, or the other. I also have this awareness of like, we can't, rejecting the devil or rejecting addictions or rejecting parts of ourselves doesn't usually get rid of it. It just creates this additional energy of rejection, which usually leads to some sort of shameful something or other, like a shame. Because if we're rejecting, we're denying, we don't want it to be there, we're like ashamed of that thing. So that shame festers, right? And hence where I'm like, sometimes, if anything, maybe open addictions, like, this is not a true statement in any sense, but it's where I'm thinking about. But you'd almost say that more obvious addictions could be healthier than the invisible ones, the ones where we say, I don't have an addiction, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do this, that, or the other. Oh, okay, so you must be the best type of human. Well, yeah, but there's the addiction. Unless it's an authentic expression of wholeness and well-being, and I've met those people too, they just don't. They're just really whole. They're not judgy and they're not self-righteous. They just don't they don't do anything that kind of creates that imbalance, but they never have either. Family oriented, grew up in loving, supportive, financially abundant homes. Like there's like all these things that need to tick boxes, I think, for people to be really, and that even that doesn't guarantee anything, right? But in this case, there's definitely some like hardship, addiction, things that you're kind of releasing to, well, open up to create a more solid foundation for a happy life. So where you are now is still in that sort of shifting phase of healing, letting go of these wounds of the past that make you feel like you're not good enough. There, the Bardo, the eternal child. See this? There's this. It's like, yeah, it's like really dying to the old. The eternal child, the sun card is here. So you're having a rebirth there, Libra. I just say that you're still, especially probably the early bits of the month, you're still probably like processing. That's all I could say. You're still processing emotions, letting things go, standing things down, and possibly giving yourself a little bit of time here and there to figure out, well, fuck, if I'm not that, who am I? If I'm not doing this, what do I do? But I do want to say, you could even, with that Four of Pentacle reverse, I'm thinking some of you might get therapy. For some reason, I'm thinking of this being like, you might get to a point where you're like, oh, wow, I need to talk to somebody about this, and talk to a therapist, talk to a psychologist, whatever, a healer. There might be just something you need to share, something you need to talk about to help you overcome the conflict and then feel more empowered. Some of you, this is Empress Reverse, so I'm thinking it could have to do with the mother and the mother lineage, or your own connection to your inner femininity. The divine mother and the divine father within us all is the Holy Trinity. What am I saying? I don't know. Anywho. All right, my lovers, I gotta blow my schnoz. I appreciate you, Libra. I apologize if this reading was a little all over the place, but hey ho, hey ho. All up in the bouts and flow. Happy holidays to all of you. And I wish you all a lot of peace and love and serenity and such mega blessings in health, wealth, and joy in 2024. I love you guys. Thank you for being my internet friends. And thank you infinitely just for supporting me over the years and supporting Ulta Love. Yeah, it's a proper mish from the heart. I truly, truly wish the world was a more loving place. And here we are. So may peace be with us all. I'm hearing, and also with you. I went to a Catholic service yesterday, so it reminded me of my childhood. Have a wonderful one, Libra. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you guys next month, if not sooner. Take care. Peace out.